2, 1, let's go. Hey, everybody, welcome to, I believe this is episode 99. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 99 of the Control Room podcast, one episode away from 100. I have no idea if we're going to celebrate it, what we're going to do for it. I'm sure.
We got to celebrate it.
We got to come up with something creative. I just don't know what that's going to be. I'm joined as always with my guy, Ramiro. Don't do mellow sign to me, okay?
I'm a mellow guy now. Come on now.
You did do your apology on Instagram. I'm going to try and let it go, but you gave me a hard time. I'm going to find some old audio tapes of you giving me a hard time about Mello, okay? But I'm gonna try and let it go for now. I'm going to try and let it go.
No more Mello slander for me.
No more Mello slander from you. Okay, Tom, today's episode, we got to talk about what's going on with the Lakers, talk about what's going on with the Nets, that top 75 list, and, you know, a bunch of other stuff going on. Maybe we'll finally get into Squid Games. Who knows? But we got to start with the Lakers blowing a 26-point lead. I saw a crazy stat. You guys were 250-0 when leading by like 25 points or something like that. Incredible record, led by your fearless leader, Russell Westbrook, going back home to OKC. Quadruple double. I don't know the points. I don't know the rebounds. I don't know the assists. All I care about is the 10 turnovers. So I'm just gonna turn it over to you, Laker Nation. Explain yourself.
Not our finest moment.
No, actually, James Worthy said it's the ugliest loss in Lakers history.
I mean, maybe, you know, that's a little bit, you know, much, but
250-0.
But if Big James said that, you know, yeah. I got to take his word for it. But it was not a pretty loss. Let's just say that. But see, people have amnesia. You know, like they fail to mention that the Lakers have played an overtime game the night before against the Spurs. Okay,
the mighty Spurs
on the road.
The mighty Spurs.
Don't you disrespect Pop's Spurs now.
You play against the Spurs. I'm sorry, you play against Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker?
Not quite.
Not quite. Kawhi Leonard?
Not quite.
I'm sorry, you play against DeJounte Murray, Lonnie
Don't you
Walker,
disrespect that great young player now.
Lonnie Walker. I forgot what's the big man's name that killed y'all?
I don't even know. What? On the roster.
Toronto. He came from Toronto.
Is it Fabricio Oberto? Is he still on there? No.
Terrible.
Ginobili?
Terrible.
Is he still on there? No.
Sean Elliott, David Robinson.
Anyhow.
Avery Bradley.
It's an NBA team.
Avery Johnson, Little General.
The General. Yeah, NBA team on the road. The Lakers won a great game on the road in overtime. Now you got to realize back-to-back games on the road are tough. You know this, Mike. However, no excuses. If there was ever a back-to-back game on the road the Lakers should have won,
thank you,
it was this one. I mean, you're going up against a team that literally is tanking to try and get a lottery pick.
This was their first win of the year.
First win of the year. And why did it have to be against us?
It shouldn't have been. You were up 26. It's over. Russ is going back to OKC. There's no Bron, so he can go full Russ. And he went full Russ. He gave you a triple double, which everybody loves to talk about, but that's really only for novices to follow the game. Oh, he has double figures and this, and this. That means he played a great game. No. Look at the field goal percentage. Look at the shot selection. Look at the turnovers. Like you said, decision-making wise, you're really starting to see the true Russ. You share them the text message. You're like, man, these stats are meaningless.
Yeah, during the course of the week, we were texting back and forth. The stat line can be deceiving. If you didn't watch the game and just looked at the box score, you would say, wow, man, Russell Westbrook, he had a complete game. Problem is, if you really watch the game, he doesn't get a triple-double in the Magic Johnson fashion, which is what I'm used to. I grew up watching Magic. And Magic would get a triple-double but it would be in the flow of the game.
Mhm.
You know, he wasn't really trying to pad his stats. You know, it seems like Russ, you know, is out there playing a video game, like he's playing 2K. And I just, man, I just don't think he is the best fit for the Lakers.
Didn't we talk about this before? I believe you thought this was going to work.
No, I said it was going to be an experiment.
Okay.
If you recall,
okay,
it was going to be an experiment, and right now, it's failing miserably.
okay.
But let's give it time. I'm not saying, you know, let's go back to the drawing board. You know, I do like the energy that he brings. You know, obviously when LeBron's not there, you're going to need some scoring. He provides that. You know, but obviously the key for the Lakers is Anthony Davis. If Anthony Davis is healthy, you know, the Lakers are, you know, one of the top teams.
No, I mean, look, I don't even dislike Russ. Like, I might come off as a Russ hater. Like, the very first podcast, and maybe I can bring Rafi on for the 100th episode, I ever did was when Dame hit the shot that sent OKC home over Paul George. And it was like a Dame versus Russ podcast, at least, 2-3 years ago now. And Russ, man, love his heart, love his determination. He just doesn't play smart. You can't go one speed the entire time. You can't be a one-trick pony, because guess what? People have about 10 to 12 years of tape on you. So they're going to scout you. They're going to bait you into shooting that jumper. And Russ is so prideful. He's going to keep shooting that jumper. He's going to keep forcing it. And he plays right into the team's hands.
What did you think of his reaction to the end of that game? With the young fella dunking the ball, and he taking a I mean, I've seen Russ do that to other teams. So, I mean, I just didn't like the way he reacted. You know, it's like, hey, man, take your L. You know, he tried to say in the press conference that, oh, I'm old school. And, you know, I don't do that type of stuff. I've seen Russ dunk on people at the end of games and blowouts and rub it in.
And scream and flex.
Yeah.
As my boy Dave would say,
dish it out.
As my boy Dave would say, take your L and go home. Okay, take your L and go home.
Yeah, if you're gonna dish it out, you know, you got to be able to take it, Russ.
If Russ is about playing hard every single possession, that's like his mantra. Yeah, that's all that kid was doing, was playing hard to the end of the game. And guess what? You took an L. You should be like,
a tough L.
You should be like, all right, guess what? I'm gonna get your ass next time.
And they will. They will. They're coming to Staples next week. So,
are you sure?
They're coming to Staples next week.
I know the
Lakers. The Lakers will win by at least 50 points. Mark my words. The Lakers are going to blow them out.
Weren't you just talking about hyperbole?
No, I'm just saying. 50? The Lakers will be ready.
50.
Yes.
Okay. He's not going to back down from 50.
By halftime.
Okay.
Anyways, getting back to what we were talking about. Yeah, not all triple doubles are created equal. Okay, like I said, I used to watch Magic get triple doubles in a different fashion. Yeah. But the way Russell Westbrook gets triple doubles, you know, it's almost like he knows his stat line, and he's like pushing guys out of the way to get rebounds. Even like the big man on the team know, like, oh hey, Russ has 9 boards, he needs one more. You know, let me get out of his way. We don't want Russ getting mad.
I don't even have an issue with the rebounding, the assists, obviously. It's, all right, dog, like, you're the point guard. Can you facilitate? Get 15, 20 assists and take about 10 to 15 shots a game. I think he took 20, 30 shots that game. You know, you're not the most efficient scorer, and the Lakers have assembled a roster of guys who can put the ball in the hole, guys who are shooting the ball well. Obviously, you got AD, you got Melo, you got what's the rookie's name? Reeves or whatever?
Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we lost Caruso to Chicago. You know, I thought we were gonna have this kid Mac McClung on our roster, but
man.
I guess he got sent down to the D League.
You got Malik
or the G League.
Yeah, you got Malik Monk who can score. Like, you got a lot of guys who can score.
They haven't given Kendrick Nunn any playing time.
I think he's hurt though.
Yeah. So I'm kind of interested to see what what he brings to the table once he gets healthy and can
Yeah.
give us some minutes.
None is hurt. Ariza's
Yeah.
hurt, and Taylor Horton is hurt.
Yeah. So
But you got enough. You're up 26 points. You had enough.
That's like I said, that's a game that the Lakers have to win. If there's ever a back-to-back that you must win, it's that one.
Yeah.
The Lakers gave away that game. I mean, you just
and you play the mighty Cleveland Cavaliers tonight.
I hope Bron's in the lineup. I hope he's back. I mean, they're playing his hometown team, So hopefully Bron's in the lineup, and the Lakers they need some time, man. Like I said, it's going to take some time for them to mesh. You got a lot of new faces on that roster. A lot of faces that we're familiar with that have been with the Lakers a few stints. Dwight Howard and
Rondo
and Ariza and so forth.
Yeah.
But you still have to find a way to play with each other. They need time, man. You can't just overreact over the first couple weeks of the season.
No, it's not overreaction though. For me, it's all these pieces fit except Russ. Russ is the one that doesn't fit in this equation.
I've heard a lot of talk. Yeah, I've heard a lot of talk about him possibly coming off the bench. I don't know how Russ is gonna. I don't know how Russ is gonna handle that.
Where did you hear this talk?
I mean, look. At one point, if you recall, a few years ago, there was talk about Melo.
Is this you and Marco talking about this?
No. This is legit, man. This is Bill Plaschke, LA Times.
No chance.
No, I mean, that's a possibility. Look, we never thought Carmelo would be coming off the bench. Who, me? Come on, Mike, you remember
me?
Yeah, and look, he's accepted that role.
And
let me tell you, man, he's doing a wonderful job coming off the bench. I was texting you.
Yeah.
His plus minus his efficiency. When he comes in the game, he kind of just gets buckets in the flow of the game. He's not doing what Russ does.
Can you imagine?
And just trying to just press the issue, like, man, just play in the flow of the game.
Can you imagine if Russ, this is impossible, but actually it's not impossible. It's just not going to happen. Played more like Magic, because guess what Magic Johnson would do if he saw a guy like Carmelo Anthony? He would be getting them easy buckets all game long. But Russ, he's so singularly focused on pick and roll. I'm either scoring or I'm throwing a lob. He doesn't.
Stats.
Melo's like this. Hey, I'm open.
Yeah.
And Russ puts his head down and goes to the hole and just prays that it goes in.
Yeah, look, Melo is he's low maintenance. He's the complete opposite of what Russ is. Russ is, high maintenance,
high volume.
Yeah, he must have the ball in his hands, and it's like, hey man, just do what Melo does. Just get your buckets in the flow of the game. Don't force it. Russ just has the tendency to force it. During the course of the game.
It's look, y'all in for a long year. It won't get better. It'll get worse. Because then Russ might start deferring. And then what's Russ going to do? Play off the ball? Like, he can only do this. This is his one trick. So, unfortunately, GM Bron made a mistake. You should have got Buddy Hield and whatever the Sacramento deal was. You got Russ because it's Hollywood and you like collecting stars. This is the one star that's going to bring you guys down. And
look,
Russ can't change.
It can't possibly get any worse than losing to OKC.
Wait till the game tonight.
No, please, Lakers, no. I would not hear the end of it from you, man. No, there's no way we're losing to Cleveland at home at Staples Center. Not gonna happen.
No way.
No.
All right. Okay. No. Well, look, let's move on to the other team that's disappointing right now. That's the Brooklyn Nets. I almost said New Jersey Nets because that's kind of what they're playing like. KD's doing his thing. I don't got to pull up his stats. Everybody know KD's a hooper. James Harden, though, if you're paying the close attention, James Harden is shooting. I was talking to my cousin about it last night. James Harden is shooting about 35% from the field. Okay. He's still getting his rebounds. He's still getting his assists, but
he's not getting them easy fouls and anymore. Not going to the free throw line anymore.
And then
the rules have changed, Mike. The rules have changed.
But he also came up with an excuse, and I think it's an excuse. I'm not buying it. He's saying because he didn't get to play pickup the whole summer, that because of his hamstring, he rehabbed the whole summer, so he's not in conditioning.
Not buying it.
So I'm not buying it because he also said in one of his IG tapes or what tapes, Jesus, I'm old, like it's 2003. IG, he was talking about, it's scary hours. Like, I'm back. I'm fully healthy. You're about to kill the league. And now you're talking about you're not ready. I don't want to hear that shit. I really don't.
Yeah, obviously the rule changes have affected Harden's game. He's not getting to the free throw line anymore. He's not getting those calls. You know, he had a tendency, if you watch him last year, you know, where he would basically get past guys and then kind of purposely put his back into the defensive player behind him and get that foul call.
He would grab their arm and pull it into his arm, man.
Yeah. So the NBA made it very clear that they were going to look out for that. They were no longer going to call that a foul. And I think it's really, really hurting Harden's game.
Yeah.
He's not going to the free throw line anymore.
For sure. He's going to the free throw line. I think it's like 4 or 5 times a game. He's averaging about 17, 18 points a game, like I said, on 35% shooting. So if you have no Kyrie and you basically have 50% of James Harden, and then you got Patty Mills and LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin, and the Nets just aren't very good. Like, they might actually be losing to Indiana right now. Let me pull up the score real quick. Let's see. We got because Miami beat them.
I know Miami's up on Charlotte.
But I'm saying Miami also beat Brooklyn too.
Yeah, Miami.
You know what? Nets are making a run. Nets are actually up. They had a big third quarter, I believe. And let's see what Scary Hours is doing. You know what? I'm gonna be quiet. James Harden has 24 points right now. 3 for 4 from three, 4 for 7 from the field.
We stand corrected.
6 points, 6 assists. 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Okay.
The beard is back.
But that kind of proves our point. Yeah. If it's a 1-2 punch, the Nets are going to be fine. But if it's KD trying to drag all these old timers and a lame James Harden, they're not, because look, the Hawks are good. Obviously Milwaukee's is coming back strong. You got the Bulls playing well. You got Miami. You got a lot of good teams in competition in the East.
The East has improved.
And I haven't even mentioned Philly because of the whole Ben Simmons thing, because you don't know what's going on with them. But if they ever come to a resolution with that, Brooklyn's got to get their shit together, man.
Yeah, man. You know, both those teams have that distraction. You know, the Sixers have the Ben Simmons situation hanging over their head. You know, the Nets have the Kyrie Irving situation hanging over their head. I have a solution, man. I think what Harden, and Durant need to do is take Kyrie out to a bar, make sure he gets a few tequila shots, and then after like 5-6 tequila shots, just hey man, have a nurse ready on the side.
Doesn't sound consensual, Romo. This doesn't sound consensual.
Boom, you got the vaccine, Kyrie. You're ready to play.
You're basically saying roofie Kyrie and put the needle in his arm. I don't. This show just
put it in his Jello pudding pop.
Wow. This is the type of stuff that gets you banned from social media platforms, sir.
Oh, I'm just kidding. Don't come after me, folks.
Oh my goodness.
C is not for cancel culture.
We do not. Is that for Cleveland Cavaliers?
I'm going to the Globo Jam after we record the pot.
Okay, very cool.
Dodgeball reference.
Okay, I like
Joni loves Chachi.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball, right?
There you go. Now we're talking, Mike.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
For the record, we do not condone giving people the vaccine without their consent. Okay.
Just a joke, people. Just a joke.
Yeah. But okay, moving on to jokes. The NBA top 75 list. There were some people left off that list that a bit head scratching. I didn't go through the full complete list because I knew it was going to piss me off.
I did.
These lists always piss me off because
I did my research, Mike.
They're not pure lists. Like they already said, like the writers kind of colluded and were like, Yeah, we don't want to bump any of the old guys out who are already on the list. So just add 25 new. Just add to the list. Don't take anyone off. That's not a real list. That's not the top 75.
Clearly, the list is made up of a bunch of sports writers, a bunch of old white sports writers.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
This list, I thought when they put it together, I thought they were going to, put in players, that deserve to be on there from the last 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
And leave off guys, slow white guys that have no business on this list, man. I was looking at some of these names.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, aside from Bird and Nowitzki and Stockton, okay, we got some slow white dudes that really have no business on this list.
Listen,
I'm sorry.
Some slow white guys can play. Look.
No.
I'll live with Bob.
Okay, Rick Barry, I'll give him a pass. Rick Barry's fine.
I'll live with Bob Cousy.
But
I'll live with it.
I don't like the Celtics.
That's prehistoric basketball.
Like
Look, if you're gonna have George Mikan, you're gonna have Bob Cousy. Like that's just a different era.
Okay, Bob Cousy, fine. Dave DeBusschere?
Look.
Dave, you mean to tell me that a guy named Dave DeBusschere is better than Grant Hill, T-Mac, Clay? Are you kidding me, man?
Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard got disrespected, and that's why I think he was so upset that night of the scuffle between him and AD, because AD made the squad, and Dwight Howard's like, well, man, what am I, chopped liver?
Because
he's got some credentials.
Because Dwight's individual accomplishments trump AD's individual accomplishments.
People forget Dwight beat LeBron.
I didn't forget that.
I know you remember. So I mean, and if you look at his defensive prowess, all his defensive awards, his rebounding prowess, look, I know that his personality rubs a lot of people the wrong way. The whole idea, his whole idea of trying to be Shaq. I'm Superman. Like, no, man, we've seen this before, and you can't just like
you're not it.
Yeah, you can't just like copy Shaq.
Hey,
like,
as a meme says, you're not that guy.
Yeah, you're not that guy, Dwight. Yeah, look, his personality, I get it. Not the most likable dude.
Yeah.
But when you look at his overall career, the guy deserved to be on that list. Bottom line.
Let me just tell you how flawed these voters are. Because a guy who I listen to a lot, modeled some of the podcasts after him, Bill Simmons podcast. He was talking about his votes and his list and and Bill gets it like 80-90% right most of the time, but this is where he loses me. He put Luka on. Now Luka didn't make it, but he put Luka on, and he's been a champion of Luka ever since Luka came into the league. Luka hasn't made it out of the first round yet.
Understandable.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then he leaves off guys like, I forgot, he said he left off like Robert Parrish and James Johnson and all those other people. And then somebody was like, the other guy on the show was Bob Bryant, another Boston sports writer, was like, yeah, like I voted for Clay. And he was just like, oh yeah, Clay, I just don't think he has a resume or body of work yet. And I said, Klay Thompson is a 3-time champion. He is one of the top 5.
He had how many points? In was it 3 quarters?
60.
I mean, come on, man.
And
he plays on both ends.
Plays on both
ends. Great defensively. What more do you want from the guy?
But some like in one sentence he goes, "Oh yeah, I voted for Luka because projecting forward, I think he's going to be a generational talent. Hasn't been out of the first round." Talks about Klay Thompson, then he's like, "Yeah, his resume isn't. He doesn't have enough on his resume yet." That's why these lists suck.
Yeah,
is because it's done by people and it's flawed. They bring their own bias in it. Like you say, it's mostly older guys, so they're going to lean
older white guys.
Look,
come on, man. We need more diversity as far as sports writers that get to vote, because this is why you end up with a list that makes no sense. You look at this list and you go, man, some guys do not belong on this list.
No, and it's not really a pure top 75, because if you bring in like team accomplishments. Oh, well, this guy's a champion. Well, okay, great. Like, look, I'm gonna do a thought experiment with you. Scottie Pippen, who people love to defend, is a 6-time champion, great defensive player. But when he led the Bulls by himself, lost in the second round, then they were a 500 team, then MJ came back. If Grant Hill plays with Michael Jordan for a decade, how many rings, and stays healthy, how many rings does he have? Tracy McGrady. You put Tracy McGrady in Scottie Pippen's slot. How many rings does he have? Well, go ahead. Because those guys, Tracy McGrady was on the level of Kobe Bryant for a short stretch where people were like, yo, the 2 best players in the league is T-Mac or Kobe. And a lot of people to this day will be like, T-Mac at his peak was better than Kobe. I'm still going Kobe, but it's a conversation. Grant Hill was going to be the face of the league.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are top 75 talents. And I think they did it for long enough to where we can acknowledge that. But when you bring in people like you said, the old school guys, or even a Scottie Pippen, to where if you go player for player, like it's not a discussion, but just because they bring in the resume and all this other BS, then that's how these lists get diluted.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, everyone has their own biases that go into this. And I mean, there should be, like you said, it shouldn't be about projections. It should be about what these players have done up until now.
Yeah.
You can't base it. I mean, as great as Luka is, there's not enough on his resume yet.
There's nothing
to be on that list. I mean, he will be on that list.
Sure.
Inevitably.
Yeah.
I mean, assuming he doesn't tear his ACL or something of that nature.
Unless he falls off the face of the earth or something. Luka is exactly like he gave my Clippers hell 2 years in a row. I know who Luka is, but I'm just saying you can't take other guys off the list because you're saying because of their resume and then put a guy on your list. And granted, Luka didn't make it for the record.
Although I was surprised. Dame Lillard made the team.
I'm a Dame fan. He's not making it over Dwight Howard.
No way.
He's not making it over these guys.
No championships to show. I mean, great. Yeah, okay. Great player.
I don't even think Dame has been like a top 3 MVP candidate left. And again, I love Dame. He's my second favorite player in the league today. But if you're being real, he don't deserve to be on the list.
And you know what? That factors into it. You said it. Likability. Dame is beloved. I mean, fans love Dame. Dwight Howard, on the other hand, like I said, not the most likable dude. And it's sad that actually factors into it, and it should.
I'm going to take that back. Dame does deserve to be on the list. What I'm saying is Dame doesn't deserve to be over a Dwight Howard or a Klay Thompson or other people who got left off. I think all the guys we mentioned, those guys, Grant Hill, Tracy McGrady, they should be on, and some of the older guys who are on just because like they should be taken off.
Yeah, I mean, these are all great players. There's no arguing that, but just the overall list, like I said, left a lot to be desired.
Okay, and just to cap it off, since we shitting on everybody's list, we gotta come up with our 5. Okay, and people can judge us on our 5. So you gotta pick 1 point guard, 1 shooting guard, 1 small forward, 1 power forward, and 1 center. For the tops, our top 75. They don't even gotta be on this damn list. This is your list. So point guard, who you got?
We doing this right now?
We're doing it right now.
I thought this was gonna be like a sneak preview for the 100th episode.
Don't be scared. No, let's do it.
Okay, no. Oh, I can tell you at the top of my head. You already know who my point guard is, the Magic Man.
Okay, you know what? I'm going Magic too. And I talked to a lot of other people. And I was just getting their feel for it. And it was either Magic or Curry. Those were like the top 2. So we're both Magic guys. So I'm going to go with Magic.
At my 2 spot, my shooting guard is obviously going to be Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
All right. Okay. We 2 for 2.
Which I'm assuming
you're
on board with.
Again, that obviously most people say MJ. A lot of people, because I have a lot of friends who live in LA, said Kobe and respect to Kobe. So I can deal with that too. Top 2 picks were like, and I talked to like 10 different people, if not more. So it was Kobe or Mike, and obviously it's Mike.
at my 3 spot. Bit controversial, but I grew up watching this guy. I grew up hating this guy, but now I have so much respect for him. Larry Legend, Larry Bird, not LeBron James. I didn't say LeBron. I mean,
you made the right choice.
But you look at Larry's resume. I mean, he's a legend.
The thing is people don't understand. Larry was doing a lot of things LeBron does. Larry had seasons where he would average 8 assists a game, 10, 12 rebounds a game, along with 20-something points per game. And guess what? He's 50, 40, 90 while he's doing that. There is no hole in Larry Bird's game. Now, granted, if you look at the defensive end, he's going to be lagging a little bit. But again, there's no shame in going Larry. Larry is probably my number 2 pick. I'm going to go with KD. 7 foot.
Oh, for a second there, I thought you were going to say LeBron.
Come on, son. Come on now.
But no. When it's all said and done, LeBron probably, I mean, you could say he's going to be listed above Larry Bird.
Well, no, most people would list him above Larry Bird because Larry Bird, I think, played for like 13 years. And like the last few, he had a messed up back. So LeBron's prime is twice as long as Larry Bird's prime. So the funny thing is he still only has 1 more championship if you include that bubble title. Larry Bird one time won 3 MVPs in a row. Larry Bird is amazing, but I'm still going with KD because he's 7 feet tall. He's also 50, 40, 90, and he's just unstoppable. So I'm going with KD.
Okay. Yeah, I can't argue with that. Okay. At number 4, I mean, Groundhog Day, Mr. Tim Duncan.
Okay.
Probably the greatest power forward we've seen.
Yeah.
His resume speaks for itself. I mean, numerous championships, just steady, consistent, everything you would want in a power forward.
There's nothing I can say about Tim. Like you say, not the most exciting player to watch. Very effective, stable, 1 squad, won 5 championships. I believe he's 5-1 in the NBA Finals. The one loss was that damn series against the Heat where Ray Allen hits that shot. Otherwise, Tim Duncan might have been 6-0 in finals, and he would be in the GOAT conversation, really. Like very quietly, Tim Duncan almost went 6-0 in finals. So I can't argue with that. I can't. I'm still not going to go with Tim. I'm actually going to go with KG. And the reason why I'm going to go with the big ticket is because defensively, KG can guard 1 through 5 with the exception of Shaq and Wilt and those guys. Like KG was just more versatile, I think. I also think he was stuck in Minnesota. And that's just another one of those situations where Tim Duncan goes to play with Greg Popovich and David Robinson and Parker and Ginobili. And my man KG is with Sprewell and Sam Cassell and Wally Zerbiak. You know what I mean? And as soon as he goes to Boston, he wins a ring and then he kind of gets hurt. And that's kind of the end of that. But for me, man, KG is just so versatile. And he was KG back in the day, 20-10-5. Like that was him. And one of the best defensive players in NBA history, great rebounder, love the big intensity. Ticket. So I'm going to go with the big ticket at the 4.
The big ticket. Okay.
I do think Tim Duncan goes down as the greatest power forward of all time, but just for my 5, I'm going with KG.
You like the fake tough guy, huh? Okay. All right. Anything is possible. Anyways.
Who did he beat to get that ring?
Let's not talk about that.
Let's
not talk about that.
Okay. Yeah.
So at our 5 spot, our big man,
which is low.
A lot of people might go with Shaq, but I grew up watching the captain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Okay, Mr. formerly known as Lou Alcindor. People always sleep on Kareem. I don't hear when I hear GOAT, the GOAT discussions. People rarely bring up Kareem. I'm like, man, like he is the leading scorer of all time, folks. Like, and this is respect the cap like that.
And this is where Shaq pissed me off a little bit because he was like, if LeBron James becomes the leading scorer of all time, then he's probably going to be the GOAT. And it's like, Kareem is already leading
Shaq
scorer.
Mad. That's Shaq mad.
I'm like, Kareem is already leading scorer. Kareem has 6 championships to LeBron's 4 championships. And Kareem also has 6 regular season MVPs compared to LeBron's 4 or 5, I believe. So like you say, the math isn't quite adding up.
Come on, that's Shaq's mad. I mean, you're relying on Mr. Pythagorean theorem.
Come on, big
But
fella.
look, I think what plays into this is the fact that LeBron won a championship in Cleveland, which, as I've told you before, is equivalent to about 3 championships anywhere else.
Kareem won in Milwaukee.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, anyway.
With Oscar Robertson, though, come on, man.
Freaking Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. Stop acting like LeBron was out there with nobody.
Kyrie is not looking so good right now.
Hey, watch the tape and watch him hit that damn shot over Kyrie. Okay. Pretty damn good.
He hit that shot. He just won't take the shot.
Right. Yes. I'm gonna go with Shaq, even though the big Aristotle, I don't understand his logic. I've never seen a guy, I've never watched a player and go, it's not fair. Like, it wasn't fair. Yeah. Like the 2001 Lakers that swept their way through the Western Conference, when the Western Conference, like, you got Duncan and Robinson on the team and they're beating the Spurs by 30. They smacked Sacramento. I forgot who the other team was. I'm sitting there like, really? They're going to go undefeated through the playoffs and then they're going to be crowned the greatest team of all time. Thank the heavens for Allen Iverson, because I'm a 96 Bulls guy, but that 01 Lakers team is the scariest team I've ever seen because of Kobe Bryant and because Shaq is just unguardable. Yeah,
I mean, just so physical. I mean, one of my favorite dunks of all time, people can look it up on YouTube, is when he dunked on Chris Dudley of New York. Yes. I mean, that's one of the nastiest, most disrespectful dunks you will ever see.
It's because he dunks him and then he pushes him to the ground. And then Chris Dudley picks up the ball and throws it at Shaq's back and he's at half court.
So disrespectful. Oh, the big fella.
Yeah, man. Shaq is a beast. Shaq is in my top 5 players of all time. So, like, I got Kobe and Shaq in my top 5. And so, yeah, I mean, Shaq is always going to be on my team, if I can have to say. Runner-up is going to be Hakeem. A lot of people said Kareem or Shaq. I had one of my former players, shout out to Bailey, she said Bill Russell. I was like, Bill Russell, look at you, basketball historian. Bailey's probably like 24 years old.
It's the 11 rings, man.
And that's what she said. Yeah. You can't leave off the greatest winner ever. So I'm like, I can't really argue that. So, shout out to Bill Russell.
Yeah, no, a great player. I mean, but it doesn't make my my top 5.
Not for me. Shaq was too much to handle. I mean, I think we pretty much covered everything sports related wise. I mean, we got the Laker game coming up tonight.
Yes.
I mean, hey, I finished Squid Games. Did you actually finish Squid Games?
What'd you think of the ending?
I mean, the ending.
Oh wait, are we gonna spoil it for people?
Okay, spoiler alert. I'm late to the party for Squid Games. So if you ain't seen Squid Games, you can probably cut this off and then come back to it when you finish Squid Games. So for me, some of it had gotten spoiled for me already. Like, I knew the Indian dude was going to die because I had seen a meme that was like, when this dude died, everybody could die. I was over the show. And when it got to the end, I was kind of confused because I was like, this doesn't seem fully wrapped up because of the brother that died. He sent the stuff on his phone. I'm like, did that shit go through or not? What's going on? But then I looked it up and it looks like there may potentially be a season 2, maybe like 2023, 2024. But I'm just glad I can make it through because I don't like gory, violent things. But it was right at my threshold to where I could handle it. Very creative storytelling. The old dude being in on it, him being like, hey, there ain't nothing like actually being in the game versus watching the game, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, I thought it was really done really well. Kudos to Squid Games.
Yeah. I'm kind of with LeBron. He got in trouble about his review of the endings of Squid Games. I wanted him to go out and look for his daughter, but
of course.
Maybe that's forthcoming. Yeah. But did you hear what the director or the producer of Squid Game said regarding LeBron's comments?
Yeah, he's basically like, what about the ending of Space Jam 2, which I've never seen before because it's garbage, I'm sure.
Touche, sir.
Yeah. Get out of here, man. Man, so okay, survive Squid Games. I don't know, All Americans back.
Oh yeah, season 4, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen
Yeah,
the first episode.
I have it DVR'd. I haven't gotten to it, but
Okay.
I'm gonna get to it.
I'm gonna get to it too. But other than that, look, you got any Halloween plans? Going trick or treating?
I'm working, sir, like an adult.
Okay.
I'm working.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
How about you?
No, but you're off. You're off. Well, no, you're not.
No, I work. I work weekends.
You're off tonight.
Man.
You're off tonight. My bad.
Tonight is my weekend.
Look, I've been off. I've been off. I thought today was Thursday. Now I got my days mixed up. My apologies. Which means it's time for the show to be over because I'm cooked. Can't wait to tune into this Laker game. They're gonna catch an L to the Cavs, and we're gonna be right back here next week to talk about it. Yeah, that's the only man that can save you is Carmelo.
That's gonna be my new sign off now.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're on all the streaming platforms and YouTube. Check us out because the next one is episode 100.
The big one.
See you guys later. Peace.